And yes, all in the top 4. Clubman Saloon cars, race number 2, over 6 laps. He's on the track. From the way Francois figured it out, it looks like you've only got that speed under correction. I don't think we're going to see the 3-8 Masters again. Don't think we're going to have the super bikes. I do speak under correction, which means, should that be the case, it would then be Clubman's, GTI Challenge and Classics. But we will see how it goes. The track is now a lot more drier for the Thermo Clubman's regional saloons, which means that they should go a lot quicker around here. Our windows are clear, our monitor is clear, which means the cameras are clear, which means it's going to be a lot easier to call this one than what it was early on. Just that big old Chrysler go through Castrol. No, I lie. Yeah, through Castrol Corner, yes. Josef Hendricks going through. There is Steven Heidenrich, JP Shea, Daku Lambert coming through there as well. Seth Griffin Wintle in the Ford Escort. That's actually a Mark III Ford Escort. Now, talk lies. It's a Mark IV. The XR3 was the Mark III Escort. And then you had the Mark IV. Remember the Mark I, the Mark II? The XR3 was the Mark III, and that is the Mark IV Escort, and that's it. Got a 2-liter motor in. And I think he's the son, I do speak under correction, of Steve Griffin Wintle, but either way, they are family. So, Gaza, here we go. Thermo Clubman's race 2.
Well, I think there's only once in the history that we've heard the surname Griffin Wintle. So if they're not father-son combination, they've got to be related
family,
in some other format. The interesting thing is there's a bit of rain starting to move in from the Bloberg side, but we're starting to run out of light. And that could affect us towards the end of the day.
Well, let's look and see.
The cameras make it look a lot lighter.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Than what it actually is. It's kind of gloomy right now.
Cars busy lining up. Just saw the back end of the Azar David's car. He's just there behind Fire One, which is the one of the rescue vehicles. Then we've got the medical vehicle, and then the chase vehicle is at the tail end of the field. For those people that wonder, what are those cars at the back? One is a fire bucky, one is a medical vehicle, and the other one is a marshal's chase vehicle, as the safety car leads them off the line. And the rain is coming down again, not that bad, but it is coming down. Just spices up things as the Thermo Fire's, Clubman's, Saloon cars work their way off the line. Gazza, you know, now that I'm watching this, remember in race number 1, we saw a car that veered off to the inside behind the karting control, Baby Jake's.
Oh, okay, that fits together.
Baby Jake's that went off. I initially thought it was either Stephen or it was Stephen Gous or Stephen Heidenrich, but it's not. For those people that were wondering, we do have an answer for you. It was the BMW of Baby Jake's.
Talking about Stephen Gous, I never noticed him now. Is Stephen up front there?
But look and see, I think I did see him out there.
No.
Just get... I think he must be out there. We'll get another camera shot. We might see him.
I saw him.
Well, we'll have a look and see when they go down the back straight. We'll just keep an eye out the back window just to confirm if Stephen is there or not. I think he is there. He is. Yeah, he is.
No, I don't see him.
There he goes. He is there. He's just ahead of Dexter Bruce. So, Gaza, he is there. Yes,
okay, so that's
Stephen
fourth row on the outside on the invert.
So, yeah.
I think he was the fourth. He ended up fourth in race number 1. So on the invert, he's fourth from the back. Fourth in that group.
Right, down that back straight they go. The rain is coming down again. The cameras are getting full of water. I tell you what, never mind what the weather conditions are. This is where you want to be today. These are brave riders and drivers that are saying, to heck with it. The COC says race. We want to race. We love it. We are here to race. And this is what we're going to do, never mind what the weather does. So thanks to the WPMC, we can race is what they're saying. And thanks to them, we can commentate. And away they go as the lights go off, as they run down into turn number 1 into holes. It is Josef Hendricks, Stephen Heidenrich coming through. Then it's Baby Jake's. JP Shares in there, followed by Shane Smith. That's that first group of cars as the rain, Gaza, hammers the windows as the leaders work their way towards turn 2, Castrol Corner.
Yeah, somehow Thermo Fire's Clubmans have picked up when the rain starts again, and it's going to get worse as this race goes on.
And I just said our windows are nice and clear now. It's
oh, sideways is Stephen Heidenrich.
Sideways is Heidenrich, sideways is Dexter Bruce, and there goes the Chrysler, turning itself around and around. What did you say earlier about the block of flats? The best one to be in?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment, no.
Refer to Plan B.
Yeah, definitely Plan B. Josef Hendricks making his way through a saddle sweep. Baby Jakes is right there with him. And then Heidenrich has got Smith. And behind Smith is JP Share coming through. Then Stephen Gous. And if my facts are right...
Oh, we got a spinner as well, right in the middle. Oh, that was hard.
That's a big accident there. Oh, and there's cars all over the place. That's Gary Fourie that's spinning around. It is chaos in a turn number 4 in a saddle sweep. The Falcon of Detroit is also off the circuit. It is a big, big, big one there. It's a big shunt in saddle sweep.
I'm pretty sure that's going to bring out the full course red. I cannot see them getting all those cars sorted out for all that car, which is on the racing line itself. The driver is out of the car, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to bring out the red.
That will be the 107 car of Phillips. He's one of the cars that's in trouble there. That is Zahir Phillips. So I don't know if they're going to get those cars out the way. However, we continue. That's Steven Heidenreich and Steven Goos. Steven versus Steven. Side by side. There's damage on the back end of Steven Goos's Jetta as they exit Castrol Corner.
Well, there they go up towards turn 4. And, well, out there the red flag comes out now. Oh, there's double wave yellows. Marshall standing in the middle of the circuit. We didn't see any red anywhere, but it must have come out somewhere.
Yeah. The red lights are on in pit lane, which means that this race has been stopped. There it shows the red flag on your screen. So they have stopped this race.
Well, there was no ways after that golf spun. There was no ways that the Polo was going to miss it. It's just nowhere to go. It was one of those things. It was always going to happen.
But wow, he whacked him pretty hard. And he's one very second-hand looking Polo Classic that you see there are Phillips. So red flag, the drivers will then come around and stop on grid proper and wait there for further instructions.
Till the day I die. Hey, swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin or wide, always down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand
So
if
the
you're
cars are
ready
now
and willing. If you
Wait for the
know it's
marshals
time.
to get that lot sorted out. Now, this is not what the Clubman's guys needed. They only done about one lap. Yes, one lap completed, so it was about a lap and 3/4 before that incident happened. Out of their 6. So they still had 5 laps to do, including the one that they were on when the red flag came out.
Frankie, we might actually be lucky and only lose about 3 cars by the looks of it. But yeah, the damage that there is on the back of the Golf and the front of the Polo is rather extensive. Yeah, the Thermo Fires and E-Gas sponsored car of Steven Goos. E-Gas Trading is one of the suppliers to Thermo Fires for many, many years. Buy a lot of product from them, and Thermo Fires is the main sponsor, the headline sponsor for Clubman's for this season again. So a lot of damage to that right rear corner. The rest of the cars, Yusuf Hendricks looking quite fine. Holding the door
he
open.
went to play in the mud in race 1,
Yeah,
and then rejoined again.
I think they just parked it in the rain so it could wash itself. The Auto Pro and Origin Oil's entry of Steven Heidenreich. He's back up onto the line. He's just got the door open and hoping that he's going to demist those windows as best as what he possibly can. Baby Jakes that disappeared behind the karting building in race number 1. He's made it back without any problems at all. The 71, the yellow.
Shane. Gary Smith there, Shane there.
You see Shane as well, yeah.
In that car, Gary's in the one behind him.
Okay, so Gary Smith in the 68th, Shane Smith in the 71, second row on the outside. So most of the guys have made it through without too much problems. See the 29 of Jaco Lambert moving forward. Probably come in, or Stephen Goes to move slightly backwards. The flatbed does go out to go and do some recovery. The medical vehicle comes back, so that's good news. That's all fine. But you'll probably find that flatbed that's working its way now down the front main is going to be on its way to go and fetch the stricken Polo.
And then we see Gavin Surf in there. He's just behind Stephen Goes. And on his outside is the X340. That is Kai van Sail in Clubman's. And then we've got, trying to pick up the BMW there on his outside.
Frankie, it's nice to have Gavin Surf back. I think I saw on Facebook recently he got married very recently. I almost think so, yes. So, well, if that is the case, well, congratulations. You got the right lady. She allows you back out on the circuit. That's awesome. There's some footage for the folks at home. There you can see how the Golf turns itself around. First car misses, second car dead center, bullseye, removes the back bumper off that Golf. And from there on out, everybody was just trying to miss.
And then there was contact between Gary Smith and the car just off screen. That's the Ford Falcon coming back there of Evert de Toy. And then it was chaos. We'll have a look now at this. Look, the BMW moves that way, and then obviously Phillips doesn't know where to go. And there you see contact between Fourie and de Toy.
Yeah, that's what sent the toy onto the grass at an angle that he could not recover from to get back directly onto the circle. Although by that stage of the fight, there was no doubt that it was going to be red flag conditions. So it didn't really matter too much at that point.
Also, just before the replay went off, we see right on the inside was the escort of Griffin Wintle that just dived towards the grass, find a way around this lot, doing the undercut on them, Formula One terminology, to get past that mess.
I think that screaming and shouting wasn't from the public, that was from Seth Grittenwinkel that was praying for a way to get through on the grass, because once you touch the grass, whatever direction you are in, that's the direction that you are going to continue. You have no control from there on out.
That's JP's share doing a pirouette in Castrol Corner.
So you are into ballet?
Don't tell the folks that, but
I just won't admit to it publicly. Frankie Yunus is a connoisseur on ballet, knowing about pirouettes.
That's about the only thing I know.
Talking about Formula One, Frankie, tomorrow I think it's a 3 o'clock start.
Yes, from Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium.
Spa-Francorchamps. What an iconic circuit. What an amazing circuit to ride. For those of you that watch the iRacing every Wednesday night starting 9:20, the West Bromwich Sports and GT Masters and Grand Masters goes out on Second Gear Productions on YouTube. And one of the circuits that we just raced recently now was, in fact, that Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Iconic to say the least.
Well, while on the topic of F1, remember that wherever Max qualifies, he's going to go back.
Yeah,
so
the first four is okay. The fifth one, that's when you go for the 10. But as they say, the reasoning probably behind it was because of the fact it's one of the easiest circuits to pass on. Therefore, if you're going to do it somewhere between now and the end of the season, take that knock now, because that's the circuit at which you've got the best chance of making up positions. Keeping in mind all the little rich boys threw their toys out of the cot. Max Verstappen with some rather choice words to his team manager and his team engineer as well. You got the likes of George Russell that pours out a bottle of champagne over one of the, I think it was Charun Chandok asked him a question. He didn't like the question, so he just poured the champagne over Charun's head and turned around and walked away. You got Lando Norris, who's been helped numerous occasions by Piastri to get into the position that he is, gets asked to give the position back, and yeah, it's like a Standard 5 child that wants to go to a high school of his own choice, eventually gives it back, but then afterwards says, oh, no, he knew you had to do it, was all fine and what have you, after making a big spiel about it. And Oscar Piastri, that one race before that, which was a sprint race, picks up his first victory, but you could see by the look on his face,
it was
a very, very hollow victory at that point. The man that was always known as the crybaby, who was otherwise known as a 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, is the man that comes out with milk and honey, because when they ask him about the incident between himself and Max Verstappen, he turns around and says, well, Max was committed, it's pretty much a racing incident, but I'm sure he won't see it the same. Obviously somebody forgot to tell Max Verstappen to say the right thing. Max gets out the car, screams and shouts, jumps up and down, everybody else is wrong except for Max Verstappen. So all the little rich boys not having so much fun at the moment up front.
And they're not all as well at Aston Martin neither.
I was just going to say, somehow or other, Lance Stroll has been doing very well, putting pressure on Mr. Alonso. And yeah, Fernando Alonso, for one of the very few occasions in his career, showing a whole heap of frustration as well. So the only good thing is that Haas has got 2 new drivers, one of which for the new season is going to be Ollie Berman.
Ollie Berman, yes. And they have signed another driver, Alpine.
Yeah.
Can't think of his name now all of a sudden. Esteban Ocon,
yeah. That was the other one. So that's a bit of a change up for the books on that side. But there's no doubt that McLaren is getting a whole bunch stronger than what they were. And now there is also a rumor, well, there's a email that went out from an unknown person, supposedly in the Mercedes garage, saying that Lewis Hamilton is not getting the best out of the team, and his progress is being stunted somewhat to ensure that Russell stays ahead of him. But it is unconfirmed. Nobody knows. It's the same as what happened with the scandal with Red Bull. Information is made available, but nobody knows. It's like cyber stuff. Nobody knows where it actually comes from. So just a little bit of background information on Formula One. If you want some more on the latest, then join me on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on Second Gear. We'll be giving you some more of the latest inside information on Formula One, and that after tomorrow's race.
Right, so here we go with the Clubmans, and now for the first time they have got a track that is wet, but the rain for now is gone. If you look out towards the people here at the track, that is, look out towards the Melkbos area, it's pretty open skies that way, so it seems good for the rest of today.
Well, Frank had just been shown a photo here while the guys were standing on the pit row, on the start-finish line. There's a big oil patch that is there after the car pulled away. No names, no petrol, but there definitely appears to be a bit of an oil spillage that has happened there. Let's hope that that oil spillage is not linked to a shortage of oil in that specific racing car before the end of the race. So I think the pit crew should just have a look-see where your car was. If there's an oil patch there, let your driver know it does not have the full complement of oil in his car still.
Yeah, but remember, Gary, the track is wet, so a little bit of oil will just spread. So it may look worse than what it actually is.
at least 6 kids could swim in that little area there. So I think it's a slightly larger. As you said, that little spin, you know, at 120 kilometers an hour doing 360s that you refer to as a little spin. This is a little oil patch.
But you throw it down in water, it just grows. So it might be not as bad, then it might be, who knows. Anyway, let's say, yeah, just add water. Right, so there we go. There is Gavin Surf, Anton Jacobs with the Nissan Sentra right there with him as well. As we are about to go, our board says 6 laps, and we are going to go lights on and lights off shortly. The lights are off now, the hammers get dropped, the revs go up, and away we go once again into turn 1, into holes. All the Clubmans nice side by side with each other, and it is Hendricks from Baby Jakes. Then we have got Shane Smith that's coming through there as well, as the rest of the field just filter out of holes.
Looks like most everybody's made it, except for Baby Jakes is the man that maybe didn't. Yusuf Hendricks has done exceptionally well. Shane Smith also having a good run off the line there.
Oh, the leader. Oh.
And the leader spun Gaza into the kink on the exit of Castrol. And is he trying? Oh, and that Andre van der Merwe has spun the Chrysler around on the exit of Castrol Corner. We cannot see that on screen. The camera can't get there, but take my word for it, folks, you people at home. He is going again, but he's dropped down to the tail end of the field.
Well, if I've got it correctly, it looks like that is the Origin Oil entry up front of Steven Heidenreich. In behind him looks to be Steven Gous. Then I think it is Gavin Surf. That's apart from one car that's got away at the front end of the pack.
Yeah, that will probably be Shane Smith in the 71 car that has got his nose up front. Remember, everything turned pear-shaped in turn 1 and turn 2 Castrol. And that would have allowed the 71 car to get away. Let's look, see if it is a 71 car of Smith. It is indeed the 71 car of Shane Smith that is all on his own into Holzhoek.
There's another big batch of cars that's working their way into turn 5, and we've seen a lot of cars that's gone off in turn 5 as one of the high-speed braking zones from 5th all the way down to 3rd.
Yeah, that is Steven Heidenreich, that's Steven Gous, Josef Hendricks, Gavin Surf, and Gary Smith that is in that pack of cars that you see coming out of turn 1 holes heading into turn number 2 Castrol Corner.
Well, here's another bunch of cars coming through, and well, everybody's being very careful. So far so good under the given circumstances. I think it's gone very, very well so far.
Yeah, I see Griffin Wintle in that group as well with the Escort making his way around. So have a look and see. There's Anton Jacobs. There is John De Silva as this whole field of cars make their way through. But where are the leaders? They should be going down the back straight shortly. There he goes on his own down the back main towards turn number 5 Fostron. And it's a lucky escape for Shane Smith. And right behind him is this group of cars going down there. Oh, side by side.
Steven
and all
Gous.
of a sudden, Gous just gets bombarded there by Josef Hendricks as they head down into 5 Fostron. Let's have a look and see. There's Hendricks. There's Gous. Battle damage on the Jetta of Steven Gous. There's a lovely fight just behind the two of them. Here we go. Gavin Surf is in that fight. Right behind him is Gary Smith. Then Jaco Lambert has been overtaken there by Steven Heidenreich. Heidenreich is busy making his way through the field as we watch them come through. Just picking up this next group of cars that's making its way out of Fostron.
Trying to pick up as much of the action as possible, and you can't go too far wrong if you go to the high-speed braking markers, because that 9 out of 10 times is where you're going to see most of the action. But all is well so far for Gavin Surf finds himself leading out Class C, that behind the Class B second place man, which is Stephen Gous, and Joseph Hendricks, the only Class A man out there, finds himself behind Shane Smith, who's having the drive of his life in the wet.
Yeah, as the cars make their way through, and go with this contact going into Castrol corner. Big contact, two beamers into each other, and we'll have a look-see. Gary will surely pick them up now through this shot. There we go. There's the one. There's the other one just to the left-hand side, and that was under braking. The two of them made contact going into Castrol.
Well, our leader, which is Smith, down into turn number 5. He's done a brilliant job to just break away from all and everything. Gavin Cerf is in that second position. What's happened to Joseph Hendricks? I don't see Hendricks between the two of them.
Hendricks, we'll have a look now and see. Here comes Gous. Behind Gous is Gary Smith. Behind Gary Smith, that car's crabbing heavily of Gavin Cerf. It's crabbing heavily as he goes into Holzhoek. You can't see it on your screen, but if you look out the window, it's got a serious crab on that Spur-sponsored Golf of Gavin Cerf.
Let's see if we can pick it up from the front end. Yeah, you can see that it's not running 100% straight at all. So lots of action right around the circuit as we pick up our leader. Here he is. That is Smith. That leads out very, very neatly. Hendricks in that second position. Here comes Stephen Gous, the second of the Smiths behind that, as they start to work their way down the back main.
Oh, yes, Shane Smith is way down the road. He's busy making his way through turn number 5, through Fostron, splashing through the water, all on his own. He's all that car stepping out of line there of Shane Smith. Caught that one very nicely indeed. There we've got the battle-scarred Jetta of Stephen Gous, and he's got Gary Smith right on his tail as they work their way out of turn number 5, out of Fostron, and racing under the City of Cape Town and Castrol Line Property Management Bridge.
Not that far behind them is Gavin Cerf, second in class. And then I do believe that the next one is the 340, and that is Aldrin van Zyl.
Aldrin van Zyl, you're quite right. As Aldrin works his way into turn number 1, and then behind him, sorry, Kai van Zyl, Gary,
Yeah.
you're confusing me too. Kai van Zyl,
Steven
and then
Heidenreich.
we've got Stephen Heidenreich going into turn number 1 as well.
So Stephen Heidenreich finds himself a long way down after that initial chaos that there was. The Origin Oils Skyline as he works his way through turn 1, trying to keep the tail end in. But at the same time, our leader, you'll see him coming into picture now, Smith in the 71 car, is just blowing everybody away.
Yeah, he's way on his own. All on his own, nobody in shot as he races down towards Fostron corner. And well, he was 5.2 seconds ahead of Hendricks when they started the lap that they're on now. And they're busy working towards the end of the lap as you see Hendricks making his way through Fostron all on his own. The leader will pick up one of the back markers. Oh, and Gary Smith, for a moment you saw there, right on the case of the Jetta 3 of Stephen Gous. And that car squirming, don't touch the wet paint. It's going to walk around underneath you, that's for sure. As the two of them make their way into turn number 1, into holes. And then we've got the crabbing Golf coming through of Gavin Cerf.
Is this possibly going to be the best result to date of Stephen Gous? Very, very possible. His highest ranking in a race. He's lying 3rd overall, holding out on the 68 of the second of the two Smith vehicles that's out there. But I must say, Stephen Gous in the wet, having the race of his life.
Well, this is the last lap that the guys are on. This is the final lap. Stephen Heidenreich just racing down into turn number 1. JP Shea making his way to turn number 1 as we watch the leader going down the back straight, coming out of turn 4, out of saddle sweep. He's got a couple of back markers to deal with. Shane Smith, I'm sure they'll keep right out of his way as they goes down the back main, working his way through Fostron. That 71 car, he's still going to get past these guys, but I don't think he's going to worry too much about it. They'll just hold their line, and if he can, he'll get through. Here he comes under the bridge, and it's victory for Shane Smith. Got to pick up Josef Hendricks for you. Yeah, Hendricks coming to, no, that is Gous. That's coming to the line. Where has Hendricks disappeared to? Oh, well, he's got the checkered flag already. Yes, we didn't see him, but he got the checkered flag already, which means Gous comes home in that 3rd position. And right behind him was Gary Smith. Gavin Cerf coming to the line. Here comes Kai van Zyl. Kai finishing in P6. A lot of cars still coming out of turn 5. That's Moore, that's finishing his race in the 777 car. As the rest of the field, here comes Steven Heidenrich. All the way in 7th is Stevie Heidenrich with JP Share right on his case. As a matter of fact, there was 4.4 seconds between Heidenrich and Share. Dexter Bruce is the next man across the line as we watch these 2 cars coming towards us. Jaco Lambert finishing his race. And then we've got Griffin Wintle. That's Jenna O'Lean that's crossing the line, and Opperman was right there behind him. Lambert was the man I was looking at that was just ahead of them in P11. This is a replay of cars coming out of Castrol Corner. That's Andre van der Merwe in the Chrysler that lost the tail end there just ahead of Van Zyl. The toy coming through as well. There's Fourie going through. And the rest of the field also coming through as well. And that is Torrente on Baby Jakes. That's the 2 BMWs that had their trouble in Castrol Corner. Baby Jakes, have a look out the window, is still there on the outside of Castrol. And cars all over the place.